Hello to each and every single one of you lovely, smiling faces out there. Today I'm going a little bit old school with just doing a voiceover, but what we're going to take a look at today, ladies and gentlemen, is the Sunday Times article that was put out this morning, or late last night, whichever one you want to look at it, by Poppy Wood. Remember now, the Sunday Times is actually owned by Rupert Murdoch, who owns The Sun. Obviously, there's going to be a few things in here which they're going to have a go at Johnny Depp and his fan base, which is only natural. As you can see right by there, ladies and gentlemen, the title of this, Justice, Warriors or Troll Army. Meet the Deppheads, Johnny Depp's die-hard superfans. Johnny Depp's libel trial comes to the Court of Appeal this week, which I will be live streaming on this channel, ladies and gentlemen, 9:45 AM Thursday morning UK time. I will be live streaming, and come along, have a cup of tea, have some breakfast, and we'll have a good old jolly old time. But now, as we're getting back to the story, there's one part by here which, Poppy Wood braves a Twitter pylon to see what makes 21st century fans tick. What makes me laugh about this headline is, well, Poppy Wood is the person who actually wrote this article. So to me, this just shows that she likes talking in the third person. She thinks she's important. But again, no, this is basically just another hit piece to try and say Johnny Depp fans are horrible. The actual article, it does go on about what happened last summer, going on saying, oh yeah, we saw this happen midsummer 2020. There was people outside, there was this. It was just carnage, but it wasn't. This is what we go into now in the actual article. One afternoon, I see a group of fans huddled by the gates, waiting for Johnny Depp's silver Mercedes to arrive. When I ask why they are here, they say they've come to fight for justice for Johnny, who they believe has been wrongly accused of all of this, and is himself a victim of DA. We're here to disseminate, one woman says, spreading her fingers as though swimming through the hot summer air. To whom, I ask? Thousands of Deppheads online, she replies. Maybe tens of thousands around the world. Actually, I'll probably say there's a couple of million, because there's 2 million signatures. He currently has nearly 10 million followers on Instagram. So I think there's a lot of people in the world who actually think he's innocent because, well, we've got someone admitting that they are the bad person. But the media doesn't want to put that into any headlines. Johnny Depp, 57, would go on to lose the case against The Sun, which is published by the owner of the Sunday Times, in November. The judge ruled that there was sufficient evidence to believe 12 out of 14 incidents were correct, which they weren't. Depp quickly filed the appeal. He was dropped from the Fantastic Beasts film franchise 4 days after the ruling, but his fans stuck by him. On Thursday, some of his most fervent supporters, Deppheads as they are known, will return to the Royal Court of Justice for the first time in almost 8 months, to hear whether he can proceed with his appeal against the judge's ruling. Others will be keeping a close eye from afar. And with that, to be honest with you, I can see this, hopefully, at this moment in time, my gut is telling me it's going to go good. Because, well, just look at all the evidence they've uncovered since then. One of those considering going in person is Caroline Hicks, not her real name, a 40-year-old TV producer from Wales. Hicks is one of hundreds who have taken to the high seas of Twitter in Johnny Depp's defence. His supporters come from all over the world and across the political spectrum, she tells me. Trump supporters, lefties, righties. To be honest with you guys, it doesn't matter what political spectrum you're on. Everyone just wants to see justice for a man who has been accused of something horrible. Johnny Depp, a goth heartthrob, has long drawn a horde of superfans, charmed by his good looks and dark, enigmatic film roles. But what started as a blushing fanbase has now calcified into a global campaign for male victims of this and men falsely accused of DV, according to Hicks. It's still about 90% female, but it has become this movement of people who've had some sort of relatable experience with this. Not just a bunch of silly girls who want to get in his pants. She feels that she knows Johnny Depp. I met him so many times in those 3 weeks during the trial. It got to the point where it was like going to the office. I bumped into him in the hallway. It was when AH was on the stand and he couldn't really say anything, so he just hugged me. I almost feel like I can call him Johnny, but then that's kind of a bit like, oh, I know him too well. Today is Depp Day for Caroline Hicks, the one day each week she dedicates to catching up on the latest Twitter threads about the actor. Yet she doesn't consider herself a fan. She's never had Sleepy Hollow posters on her wall or the Black Pearl pirate ship as her screensaver. And she audibly shudders when I mention the word Depphead. I didn't really have any interest in him whatsoever. I mean, obviously I've seen his films, but I don't really do celebrity gossip and people's private lives. It all started for Caroline Hicks in 2017, when her brother had a nervous breakdown while splitting up from his wife. She was very controlling, a bit narcissistic. Then, when it came to the splitting up, she made lots of false accusations about him. On a flight a few months later, she watched Murder on the Orient Express. Johnny Depp's role as a slick-haired victim was short and sweet, but it was enough to stick in her mind, and she found herself Googling the actor when she got off the plane. Over the course of a long coach journey back home, she became convinced there was something dubious about Johnny Depp's high-profile breakup with A.H. So I deep dived basically, which is how the Americans say it, don't they? I went down the rabbit hole. It's strange, isn't it? Hicks says carefully. There's a lot of infighting between the different Depphead factions. She explains, and the best way to steer clear of trouble is to keep your name out of it altogether. There's the Twitter core, who are very active. They're like activists for him. They get all the documents. She says they do their own research, sharing information that they dig up on the case. So there's this real forensic activity among them. And then there are the lurkers, thousands and thousands of them. So the way that Caroline Hicks says that right by there is what myself, Tug, Stevie, everyone has been talking about. The people who are, the ones who are looking through these documents, the ones who are getting these, Laura, QWERTY, again, all of us, we're seeing all of this and we're like, yes, this is how it's done. Later on in the article, they do state about a few things which, again, I am absolutely against. I don't condone it. And I see and I'm like, why would you even do that? Because that is just stupid. But we'll get to that later on in the video. Deppheads have a deep distrust of the media. They're constantly mining the internet for new evidence. And when information emerges, they don't rely on news outlets to report it. They have their own people for the job. Lost Beyond Pluto is one of the several dedicated YouTube accounts, taking matters into their own hands, but you only have to read the comments on her video to realise there is a darker side to the Depp community, which again, guys, is very true. Sometimes I'm seeing some comments from people, and even to myself, I'm a little bit like, ooh, right, that's a little bit too much. We don't want to do that because you're just making yourself look as bad as AH fans. The article does actually talk about Lost Beyond Pluto's page quite a bit, which is amazing. Like I said, I will leave the link below because it is quite a lengthy article. As support for the actor swelled in the wake of the trial, so too did the vitriol against his ex-wife. Anonymous accounts called for a boycott of L'Oreal products. Aquaman 2 gained almost 2 million signatures to get her to drop the actress. AH's social media feeds were swamped with comments such as turd and this, and the hashtag AH is this, AH is that, were used more than 100,000 times on Twitter. Hate for the actress was so loud online last summer that she claimed Russian bots had been deployed to ramp up the noise. Again, she just doesn't like the fact that many people don't like her. So she filed a $100 million defamation suit against him, which it didn't exactly go well for her, did it now, people? And she also accused Adam Waldman, Johnny Depp's US lawyer, of being publicly associated with Russian individuals with the capability to organise this. To be honest with you, anyone can. If you got the money, you can just do it. AH alleged that Depp, via his lawyer, had deployed bots in an attempt to damage her reputation and sink her career, and has called for the Twitter accounts of more than 200 of the supporters to be subpoenaed. Johnny Depp and Waldman have denied the claims. With that as well, I really do find it funny because Twitter have basically said, actually no, you're not having these because these are true, real accounts. People are talking on them, not just about the Johnny Depp situation. So that blows it out of the water for AH. Since then, the lawyer has taken to Twitter like a pastor to the pulpit. Waldman had previously served as a lobbyist for the Russian oligarch, again, counsel for Sergei, Russia's foreign minister, but over the past few months he has devoted his time to tweeting snippets of evidence that he claims undermine AH's testimony, which they don't claim, they do. They are out and out lies. Everyone knows this. Depphead Twitter is constantly pulsating, but when Waldman tweets, it hits full-blown convulsion. No, it doesn't. His revelation in January that AH did not donate his $7 million divorce settlement to a LA Children's Hospital, despite testifying to doing so in a witness statement, proved electric, which is 100% true. She said she donated it. She went on public TV access all over the world stating, "I've given $7 million to charity." But she didn't. Children's Hospital came out and said, "No, where's our money?" That's exactly what they did. But then obviously it does state, AH's team responded by saying she'd already donated a 7-figure sum to charitable causes, but the remainder had been delayed because she had been forced to spend millions of dollars defending Mr. Depp's false accusations against her. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we just need to look back at, right, so the end of the payment was February 2018. 2018, she actually had a couple of letters from the Children's Hospital saying, "Where's our money?" March 2019. So a good 13 months after Johnny Depp had finished paying all the, the court settlement and everything else, then he decided to sue her. 13 months later. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I saved the money because he was suing me." No, that doesn't fly. However, with this devotion comes an almost tribal protectiveness. Moments after messaging one Waldman enthusiast, I was descended on by Deppheads in their hundreds. Warnings against talking to me were retweeted to oblivion. My personal details were posted online. Old articles I had written were scavenged from the depths of the internet. I locked my account, as if pulling my arms over my head in a dusty scuffle. Do not mess with Deppheads. We have it all. We know it all. We will shut your nonsense down. One fan tweeted to rapturous applause. Within an hour, they had moved on to someone else. So with that one, if this did happen, because I haven't even seen it, and obviously I'm on this stuff like anything. I know what's going on. People tag me in things, but I did not see any of this. If anyone out there has this, please let me see it. And that's what we got, guys. And it's kind of sad to see that, again, we knew this was going to happen with, a newspaper that's actually owned by Rupert Murdoch because, what's the point of having a paper if you're not going to do anything? You know what, guys? I've just thought about this now. It's actually very interesting. This has come out 4 days before the appeal goes in. Obviously, it's a targeted hit piece to go out there and say, "Look, guys, this is what his fans do." To almost like to put him against what's going to happen on Thursday. It is a very coordinated attack. We know this 100%. And it's just sad to see. Like I said, guys, Thursday I will be live streaming the court segment on my channel, 9:45 a.m. UK time. Please be there. It's going to be amazing. Have some breakfast. We'll have a cup of coffee, cup of tea together. We'll watch the proceedings and we'll go from there. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for future updates. And I'll see each and every one of you soon.